Hey, my name is Brad. I'm with the Saddle Rock Sports Network, and I am here with Kerry Sherman, a longtime media personality in the six-man football world, one of the masterminds and planners behind this event, the Kansas-Colorado first Summer Kickoff Classic, got to remember. And Kerry, just tell us a little bit about your involvement with six-man sports.
I go all the way back to prior to CHASA actually sanctioning six-man back in the early 80s. Woodland was pretty much central. There were Kit Carson was the only team south of I-70. Deer Trail was the farthest west. So everything happened at Woodland, and I was right around middle school. And for all the postseason games, I was the ball boy. And I just fell in love with the game because it was so different. It's still football, it's still blocking, tackling, catching, running, all of the same elements, but it's just so much faster, and it's supercharged. I've always said it's full contact track, or it's NASCAR on grass. If you're not rubbing, you're not racing, and that kind of mindset. And it was just one of those things that just really got into my blood. I wasn't able to play. I wasn't built for six-man. I was 265, and there's not a lot of room for guys about that size in six-man. Well, there is room, but there's you don't go very far very fast, except for some of the kids who were here this week for both states. But just general health didn't allow me. But I was always on the sidelines, and it got me into coaching a little bit here and there. But I have covered high school sports, and primarily the six-man schools, for 33 years now. I wrote for Tommy Wells in his Six-Man Illustrated magazine that was out in the 90s and early 2000s. So it's just one of those things that I have pretty much had kind of a hand in six-man in just about every fashion that you could. My brother and I used to officiate scrimmages, just two of us, and so I really, it's one of those things that once it's in your blood, it's hard to get it out. I don't ever hope to tap that vein. I want to keep it there because it's a game that is ours. There's bigger places that will, your schools might have 200-300 kids in school, but have the option to play six-man. It's our small school, small community sport, and I think it keeps us close to our roots.
Absolutely. So with this weekend's event, first ever Kansas versus Colorado six-man all-state game, there was a conversation had, as I've heard talked about this weekend, between you and Jeff Chambers, one of the big players and organizers here in Kansas. Tell us about that conversation, how that came about.
Well, to go even farther back, because that's really where things started. About 5 or 6 years ago, when Justin Kearns was, he hadn't even become the president of our six-man association in Colorado yet. But at one of the meetings, we were talking about how cool it would be to play another state. And at that time, really, the only thing that was happening around, Texas has so many schools, they don't need somebody to come down there to play them. Wyoming and Nebraska were already playing each other, and there was a possibility we could jump in, but we were going to be the third wheel. Mm-hmm. And to me, that wasn't what I wanted to see, and neither with Justin. We wanted Colorado to be a star, because we know who our kids are. We know how good they are. They shouldn't be an also-ran to somebody else. There shouldn't be a tag on. And so we just kind of started milling around going, okay, well, let's see. Kansas, well, no, there's nothing going on just yet. Montana, I don't think anybody wants to drive 800 miles one way.
Maybe not.
This is a long enough haul for a lot of our people. But and in 2022, I just happened to see that Kansas had their Facebook page for their All-Star Classic. So I looked at it, and same day as ours, but our game in Hugo was at like 10 o'clock kickoff in the morning, and theirs was a 6 o'clock evening kickoff in Hayes. And I just said, I'm going.
Hey, get in the car, go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I had to ask my dad because he was with me, and he goes, "Really? We can do that? Okay." And so I reached out to Coach Chambers, and I just said, "Hey, I'm one of the organizers, directors for Colorado. I'd like to come down and maybe we can bounce ideas off each other, how we can make each of our opportunities better for our kids." And so after we finished in Hugo, made the hike up to Hayes, and it was amazing how it was just immediately the chemistry was there, and we went from thinking, okay, well, if you guys do this, you can get better support, and if we do this, to we need to work together. Mm-hmm. And this can be something that grows, and it went from the dream state to pinch me if I'm still dreaming, because last night sitting around with coaches from Colorado and Kansas, and we're all going, this is really happening.
Yeah.
We're really here, we're really doing this, and like we've told the kids, you're the guinea pigs for this experiment. And how we move forward from here goes, really is dependent upon your behavior, your actions, how you conduct yourself, but also going home and telling those younger classmen you played with, you want to be part of this. This is going to be something that you will never forget for the rest of your life. And that's been my goal, was that when we put Colorado six-man on a stage, that everybody walks away from it with memories that will never leave them for their lifetime.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for the commitment to six-man football, to Eastern Colorado, Southern Colorado, and all places in between. We appreciate your time today.
One of the reasons I love six-man is because that's about as high as I can count.
Very good. Me too. All right, folks. Again, this is Kerry Sherman, and thank you for being here, and we look forward to our ball games tomorrow.
I got to tell you real quickly, when you first reached out to me several months ago about wanting to be involved, I was just beyond thrilled, and once I got the word that it had worked out for you and your crew to be here, I was like, okay, this is one of the things that's going to separate us. And you can just tell by the highlight packages and everything how much fun the kids are having, and your crew is adding so much to what we're doing here.
Oh, thank you.
Glad to have you on board.
All these guys back here, they're fantastic kids.
Yes, they are.
We're excited for tomorrow. Thanks again, Kerry.
You're very welcome.
And everyone, tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock about kickoff time. I think 10:45 is the first kickoff time, about that.
Yeah, it will.
And then about 2:45 is the actual kickoff. We're going to have pregame shows at 10:15 and 2:15 tomorrow Central Time. So if you're watching in Colorado, reduce that by an hour. Don't miss it, but it'll be on YouTube, as you know, so you can watch it later.
There's enough reasons to be. I mean, if half hour, 45 minutes is too much time to kill, then you're a lot busier than me.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.